Today we're going to share. Hi, John. Hey, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about now. Yeah. This is the mission. We just got to do everything, keep a clear head, and we'll be smooth sailing from here on in. No more fussing, no more arguing with it. Not going to say it. Right. Not going to argue with anyone. Exactly. Just period. We're not arguing with anyone. Those days are over. Exactly. I promise you that those days are over. All right. Let's get a did we lose power? No. Dingy dang. In case we lost power, we have just made the announcement that we will never be arguing with anyone again. We are strictly sharing this twin flame thing, and today we're doing a movie review on The Way We Were, right? Starring BABS Streisand, Barbara Streisand, and the beautiful Robert. That's John saying that. I actually was taken by Barbara Streisand's breathtaking beauty in that movie. Mm-hmm. You know, she was absolutely ravishing. They both were. Let's face it, this was a beautiful couple. You know, and her nose makes her more beautiful. She's the full package. Beautiful figure, great eyes, amazing bone structure. She's got it all. Him too. Little too hairy. Oh. I was surprised by all the hair on Robert Redford's chest. Can I say that? Let's ring the bell on that because we're talking about this the way we were. And we're going to examine it as an examination in twin flame relationships. First off, John, were they twin flames? They were star-crossed. Yes, they were. It shows you how things can go wrong. So they were twin flames, yes. But that movie was a long time ago. And the connections were nowhere near what they are now, right? Because think of it, we're in different dimensions, literally divided by a veil. And yet we're a successful twin flame couple. Okay, yes. So, but yeah, I would say that based on their interactions, yes, they were very much, well, wait a minute. Okay. He didn't seem attracted to her to begin with. No, he was. He was very taken by her, but he had a hard time expressing it because he was just like a guy from, the old school jock. Right. Okay. Yeah, right. I see that. What's this? Okay. Oh my God, twin flames. This is a new one. Yeah, look at that. Oh my God. That could be distracting from the review. So let's go back to that, okay? Yeah. The twin flame relationship. Mm-hmm. So we're reviewing The Way We Were. I had a problem with the ending. Mm-hmm. Let's just take it apart from the beginning. When they met. Yes. Go ahead. They were twin flames. All right. And there was a spark, but he really admired her so much that he thought she was unattainable. She, of course, was physically attracted to him. All right, but was he physically attracted to her? I believe he was, yes. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't said, yeah, because he didn't make a big deal about it. He played things close to the vest. I'm sorry, I have something in my... Are you relating to that somehow? No, you can ask anybody out here. Ask anybody at all. Hi, Sandy. Hello. I know you've been thinking of me, and I love you very much, and everything's great. Give me a snowstorm. All right. Been a little frosty here, Lena. You haven't really... All right. Sandy Denny, Christopher's twin flame, the amazing singer-songwriter of Fairport Convention and other projects. Sandy Denny. Yes. All right. Well, I'll give my input on that movie a little bit. It was a good movie. Mm-hmm. It's a beautifully shot. Especially I saw you and John crying over the scenes in Manhattan. Yes, those New York scenes. It's right where John lived. Central Park West over there. Oh, God, Lena, no. All right. I'll leave you to it. We'll talk later. All right. I love you, Sandy. Sandy Denny. Yes, everything's great. Thumbs up. All right. What did you do to your other thumb? I was opening an incense bottle and I ripped it. Yeah. Don't hurt yourself, would you? All right. All right, so John, okay. Let's stop fucking around with this thing. Get one to go and we'll do it. That sucks. All right. This sucks too. It doesn't really suck. I don't even know what it's doing. Yeah, do that one.
Here's your lunch.
Thanks, Chris. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
All right. Thank you for our lunch. Scallops and fried rice. He's our best pal. Mm-hmm. Well, I set him up with crisps today. Yes, you did. Johnny set him up with Walker's crisps. Christopher will show a bag when he walks back this way. Listen. So Robert Redford, Barbra Streisand, they finally get together. First of all, I have to take. Would you want to ask me? Their first love scene together. He's drunk as hell. She brings him back to her apartment and takes off all her clothes while he's snoring in her bed. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see this movie, Chris? The Way We Were?
I don't think the whole thing.
Wait, first show up the Walker's Crisps bag that we have there. John turns me on to all this food from England. Marmite, we showed in another video. This is Walker's Crisps. We ordered these from London at Johnny's request. Did you try them?
I did.
What did you think?
All right.
They're very good. They're very vinegary. Anyway, John started eating them when he was 8 years old. They're a specialty item, and you can get Walker's Crisps on. They're like prawn flavored. They're very vinegary, but the potatoes are great quality. So I will say they were very good, and we ordered them from Amazon, and it took them about a month to get here. Mm-hmm. But it was fun because John turns me on to all this stuff from London. So that's always really great. You know, where would I get the opportunity? Listen, honey, why is the light down like this? All right, let's just talk about The Way We Were. Let's not get insane. Okay, so she gets him drunk. Oh no, she didn't get him drunk. No. Okay, here we go. Barbra Streisand picks up Robert Redford in a bar. Now, she's always had a crush on him since high school, but now sees him in a bar and he's like a soldier. All right? You have to watch the fucking movie. If you haven't seen it, just go see it. This is just a review. So she's like, he's drunk. He has no hotel room. She brings him back to her apartment. He vomits all over her bathroom, right? And then he fucking falls off. For some reason, he takes off all his clothes. I was shocked that he had the presence of mind to take off all his clothes. Well, there wouldn't have been much of a scene if he didn't. She would have had to take off his clothes. That would have been a mess. Yeah, she wouldn't have been able to do that. Then she would have woke him up, right? So she makes a cup of tea, and she comes out with the tea, and he's laying there naked in her bed, but like totally sleeping, right? John, I would have done the same. I personally would have faked it. What makes you think that I would have climbed into bed and done that? I know my Lena. All right, you take it easy, pal. This is about them, not me right now. Well, you asked me. All right. Stop getting horny at this moment. All right. John! Yeah. Stop it. She jumps on him. Not jumps on him. She just kind of like, one thing leads to another, and he snuggles in close to her the way I would do. Mm-hmm. If I was with Lena, of course, not Barbra Streisand. Yeah, you're stuttering a little too much. So then he fucks her, right? Let's be honest. And she's like, oh, baby. Right. Was that her first time? I think it was. Yeah, I'm quite sure it was. But it wasn't really delved into, but it seemed like it was her deflowering. Her chosen deflowering. Right, from a drunken, very good looking sailor that she knew from college or high school or whatever the fuck. Track team. He wakes up, so then she's like, oh, yeah, baby. And then they both fall asleep. And the next morning, she's getting coffee together, and she's ironing all his clothes like a happy little housewife. And he comes out, and he has absolutely no memory of it. And he's kind of acting like, all right, thanks for letting me crash here. I'm sorry if I snored. I really appreciate it. And she's bye. But she's like, so he thinks nothing happened. Oh, God, John, you are attacking me at this minute. This is what he does. We can't talk about anything. All right. All right, John, come on now. Cool off. Yeah, we'll have a little cup of soda. This is ginger soda. It's really good. Not ginger ale. It's this other kind of shit. Organic ginger spice. I don't know. John? I like you. So they get married. Eventually, they just keep running into each other. I don't even remember what happened, but I was too busy crying over New York City with John. Because you show John one picture of Central Park, and he's like fucking crying. And then we can't even do anything for like 10 minutes until he stops crying. All right, Lena, come on. You cried too. I cry because you cry. Before you came along, I did not cry about Central Park. I just didn't. At least not to my knowledge. I didn't even go to that thing, that Imagine thing, and it's 20 minutes away from my house. I didn't even go there to see their... I have never been to that Imagine mosaic thing. You know the thing I'm talking about? Well, I'll show it. That thing. No, but you bought the... Yeah, I bought the coaster because it looks good, but... I'm not going to go stand there with a bunch of fucking yodel heads singing, Imagine this, with like playing on untuned guitars and wearing fucking John Lennon glasses and standing there. Really? Are you quite finished? No, I'm not finished. We're talking about the movie The Way We Were. This is the way we are. It is the way we are. Oh, you guys, today's date adds, this is a numerological number 9. Who are you talking to? The home team. Very good, because they're always listening, even if the other idiots in fucking La La Land down there are not. Yeah, I know. Nobody listens to this shit, and don't be so sure, but... All right, so wait, January 20th, 2022 adds up to a 9, folks. So today's number 9. So numerologically, it is the right on the fucking, ass end of the full moon. And again, very crazy energy today. And we are dealing with the Mercury retrograde, and also I believe Venus is in retrograde. So I'm just letting you people out there know that the stars are aligning, but they're also banging into each other, and there's this whole thing going on with the 2 moons. We have 2 moons. John, we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the movie. All right, so we have twin moons. Yes, we do. Are they the same size? One's a little smaller. All right, okay, but movie. All right, so, right, he's trying to keep me on track. I understand. So they get married, okay? A lot of shit goes back and forth. And his friends, too, are like, he never defends her, really, to his friends. They're like, oh, you married Katie. Why did they call her Katie? I don't even understand. They always had this stutter. Like, what was that? She didn't stutter. I don't know. Why did that one fucking, his best friend, talk to her like that? So then... and they would say shit like that. Oh, you're dating her? Oh, my God. Whoever would have thought you two would be together? Well, she sure looks a lot better now. At least she doesn't look like she did back then. I mean, fuck you. Like, he didn't say one fucking word to his friends who talked about her like that? And this was supposedly when he was in the throes of new passion with her? Like, when they realized how much in love they were? And he's meeting her on street corners and sweeping her off her feet, and they're making out and they're fucking every minute. And then they go and have dinner with his disgusting friends, his fellow jock friends. And this is the way they fucking talk about her. And he sits there with his finger up his ass and he just sips his drink and worries that she's going to say something because she has a reputation as a loudmouth. He's worried she's going to get too political, so that's his main concern. I'm sorry, Robert Redford, you fucking dick, but you should be like getting up and leaving and taking your fucking martini and throwing it in your fucking homo friend's face.
I guess that's why they were and not are.
Yeah, right, exactly. John, I love this. This is making me very horny. So then they get married. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, you take it. I don't want to. Why? Because you do it better. Nobody does it better than me. I'm the greatest film reviewer in the history of the world. They get married. All of a sudden, he's this famous playwright. I don't know what the fuck. Not playwright. He was writing screenplays for a fucking TV show. Right, all right. Something. I don't know what was going on. He was selling out, though. Every minute, she's like, you're better than this, Hubble. Also, what kind of name is Hubble? Is that like a spacecraft? Isn't that a space... Through the whole movie, I'm saying, oh, shit. Because that guy was in outer space, Redford, in that movie. I'm sorry. This extraordinary woman is at his fucking disposable. No. I didn't say disposable. Anyway, all through the movie, she's like, hey, Hubble this and Hubble that and Hubble Bubble, right? And I'm thinking his last name is Hubble. That's his fucking first name. Who is naming their kid Hubble? What was his last name? Gardner. But here through almost till the very end of the film, I was like, what kind of name is... Why can't you, they're married now and everything, and she's still calling him by his last name. And John goes, I believe it's his first name, dear. And I was like, really? That's his first name. And I look it up, the film thing, and sure enough, Hubble Gardner. I'm like, his name was Hubble. All along, I thought she was kind of being like, you know the way Ally McGraw was calling what's-his-face, Tim McGarver there, Ryan O'Neal? She was calling him Preppy. I thought Streisand was being sarcastic and calling him Hubble, like making fun of him, and never, you know? Yeah, I do. All right, you have to pay attention and help me with this review, John. All right. You're really hurting my hand. All right. You're hurting it more. I know. All right, so come on. What was your take on all this? I have to hear you say more. All right, so they get married. How many times they got married once, but... And now they're living in, and that's her thing all the time. You're selling out. You're better than this. You're so much better than what you're doing. And he's like, yeah, but we're going to Hollywood. We're in Hollywood, gonna go to Hollywood, and we're gonna live on the beach. And they had this gorgeous house on the beach, and she's always complaining, like, I should be out there making a difference. What am I doing in this beautiful house on the beach? It's like, I don't know. What are you doing in that beautiful house on the beach? Every time I look at you, you seem like you should be having a good time. You've got a private theater in your home. You have all these friends over all the time. Every fucking second there's a volleyball game and a fucking barbecue. Now you're pregnant. You have this amazing wardrobe. Your hair has never looked better. Babs. So what are you worried about? What do you... And then for reasons unknown to me, she decides she has to go be a reporter somewhere and make a difference in the world, in some third world country, or I don't know what she was doing. Nothing was ever clear. She was like banning the bomb. She was... But it's like, what are you doing? Like then if you want to do that, do that. I at that point I felt for him. Yeah, you did. I I I should I have? Why are you asking me if you should have?
I don't think you should have.
All right.
You're accepting a superficial life.
I was right. Okay, you're right. I was saying that she should have that superficial life. But what? Well, she went with him because she loved him. She felt tremendous love, and she always wanted him to be a better person. And he was a sellout, which is exactly why you hated him at the end. You're right. Okay, I'm losing track of my values. All right, it's okay. It's okay. Christopher's in there laughing at you. No, he's laughing with me, but we're not laughing at you. It's a fine line. Okay, what's a fine line? All right, it's a very fine line. I'll just tell you because I walked that fine line, and I know what it's like to fall into the comforts of a luxurious lifestyle and be swayed away from a more difficult but a more honorable lifestyle. I see. Okay, so his thing at the end then I can respect that you're saying this. And do you feel like you have learned from your experience? Of course. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Can I tell you something? I had the opportunity to not wait for you. I had the opportunity to go on to glory, but it wouldn't have been glory because you wouldn't have been with me. So what do you mean you would had the opportunity to go on to glory without me? Eventually we would have met up because it's you and me, and there's no way around it. Eventually we would have. But the fact that I'm here with you right now, I believe God and Mother are very pleased with both of us. And they're very pleased with Christopher. And of course, Mother Yoko, they're pleased with her because she's made a lot of progress, really a lot. She has softened quite a bit, quite a bit. She had a lot of work to do after my crossover, and I've been helping her, and just the way Christopher's been helping you, and we've all been helping each other to reach these levels of land eligibility, honey. I I appreciate this insight. Very good. I really do. So, all right. So Babs was 100% right, and he was what? He had a ways to go. He had a ways to go. Yeah, especially because then listen, at the end, I'm very overwhelmed by what you just said to me. So and I want to talk more on that too, John, about crossing over and us being together. And well, it is what it is. Here we are, and I'm not going anywhere, and neither are you, and we're here together. And that's all anyone ever really needs to know about this situation. And again, we're an open book. There's lots of information out there about us now. We have an exclusive journal online that's over 700 entries long and many, many videos and lots of stuff for anyone to look back on. So don't worry about going further into it. Not right now. Let's do the movie review. Okay. Because then there's another movie where, well, this one, please. Okay. So at the end of the movie, he cheats on her. Oh, gee. What? Well, you don't think that I would do that because I didn't do that to you. I know you didn't do that to me. What are you talking about? All right. You were always a faithful married man, and I've always been a faithful married woman. Always, yes. Always, yes. I know. Well, I wasn't faithful, but you were faithful. But I mean, when I was married to Yoko, I was not faithful. But I was. But I wasn't. All right, let's just get away from that. Back to Babs. Back to Babs. Anyway, again, she got more gorgeous as the film went on. Again, I was really, really struck by her really translucent, this gorgeous face of hers. Like, my God, she is really a beautiful woman. And it seemed that the more beautiful she became, there would be these offhanded remarks about how unbeautiful she was in comparison to the other beautiful women in that film. There were other attractive women in that film. Nobody could hold a candle to her. Not one. Right. What was that all about? Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Now, him, I'll tell you, his skin needs a little work. He's one of those blonde guys that always really didn't protect his skin, and you could tell it started out early with him. But beautiful, absolutely gorgeous man. Not my type. Not my type. Never was. I always went for an offbeat look my entire life. Always. Me too, Lena. Me too. Really? Yeah, except you're a classic beauty, so that's where that ends. Well, you're exceptionally. Yeah. All right. Shh. Movie. Okay. What am I? Exceptionally fine looking. Oh, haha. Now, you're insane. You're positively insane. I forget what I'm talking about. Oh, they got married. No, I got past that already. Now she's pregnant and he's cheating on her. Why is he cheating on her? He's stressed out. She went away to do the story for the war or whatever the fuck, and he's upset because she went there. And he's watching home movies, and he's marveling at how it really is, thinking, oh my god, looking at these home movies and falling in love with her all over again. But then whatever. He gets back. She gets back. And then, like, he's having problems with the studio where he's selling his work to this studio to make he's selling out again. He's doing a TV show, and he's forgotten all about writing his novel. And he's just not living up to being the Hubble that she knows that he can be. And she's aggravated, and they're, kind of, for whatever reason, he decides to fuck his old college sweetheart, who also by now happens to be the wife of his best friend, right? And who his best friend is also his director. They're like they're those two were the couple, him and the best friend. They were like the Lennon and McCartney of never. No, nah, never. Those two were more like me and Stu, really. All right, you and Stu. Very good. Okay, so she leaves him. She leaves him. That's the end of the movie. She's pregnant. She says, I gotta leave you. Enough is enough. The cheating was the last thing, the last straw. But, she would have taken him back. She would have taken him back. He's the one who turned around and said, even after the cheating, it's not going to work for us, honey. We don't work. We don't work as a couple. Right. But Barbara Streisand was just like, why is it? And her fucking main thing that she kept saying was, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not pretty enough. This was a very negative message, an extremely negative message for a generation. Don't you agree? You are, by far, the best reviewer of anything I've ever known. All right, anything you've ever known. At the end, she says, just please stay, Robert Redford, a.k.a. Hubble. Please stay until the baby is born. Like, why? What? And then he gets to go? He meets her in the hospital. Now, meanwhile, this guy is loaded now because he has made all this fucking money as a guy doing this Hollywood bullshit. Meets her in the hospital. She's laying there. She's just cranked out a kid, right? And she's like, did you see the baby? I'm going to name her Rachel, which was her mother's name. And he's like, yeah, she's really little. I put the crib together. Okay. I'll see you around. And he like leaves. And that's the end of their marriage. He doesn't even fucking stay like to get her home from the hospital. Like, who the fuck brought that woman home from the hospital? Who brought Barbara Streisand home from the hospital? Her name was Katie, by the way, in that movie. The Way We Were. Hi, Captain Jack Sparrow. We're reviewing The Way We Were. Listen, yeah. That's the end of that. They never even show the kid. The kid is just like not a kid anybody has ever seen. At the end of the movie, it's coming to the last frame, and she's running around New York City in her old afro hairdo. I don't know what that was about. She's like, I got my afro back. All right, Babs, whatever. She's running around because they're doing this bomb protest. So she's flying around this sidewalk by Central Park West yelling orders at everybody. Oh, you got to put posters up, just like John and Yoko. War's over, get over there and put that up. She looks across the street at a great big fancy hotel there by the Central Park West, and who's fucking jumping around? Robert Redford, a.k.a. Hubble. Who's he got with him? Some blonde, plastic-looking blonde thing. And, of course, you hear the music. Da, 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 da. She goes running across the street. Oh, I thought she was going to get hit by a car. That would have been the fucking... it looked for a minute like she was going to get hit by a car, didn't it? And I was like, if that's how this movie ends... then this is really fucked up. But it's not. She didn't get hit by the car. She kind of looked frumpy, though. She's like in this old... now suddenly she's got her frizzy hair back. She's got like this Groucho Marx hair back, and she's like in an old fucking burlap sack looking raincoat on. Very unglamorous and weird. Suddenly it's like, I'm a frump again. Robert Redford's not with me anymore. I'm Frumpy Babs. Here I go. And Robert Redford sees her and he recognizes her right away, because he remembers that Groucho look she used to have, right? And that's not something that leaves you ever. Once you've seen Babs as Groucho, there was actually a scene in the movie where they were that's right, they were at a costume party and she was dressed as Harpo. No, did I say Groucho? Now that would have been funny. Her dressed as Groucho with those glasses on, and she wouldn't have needed the nose. They could have just stuck a pair of black glasses on her, and she'd be Groucho. Christ, no! But no, she was Harpo, the one who beeps the horn, right? Beep, beep, can't talk. Which is like a total bullshit fucking thing if you think of Babs as Harpo Marx. Because in the movie, Babs can't shut her mouth for 1 second. That's the other thing. She never shuts her mouth in any movie she's in. Every minute she's talking like this, and she's doing this, and she's talking like that, and she's talking. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm Brooklyn Babs. Brooklyn Babs is who I am. I am Brooklyn Babs. Getting back to the movie, the ending of The Way We Were. She's like, Hubble, you look great, and all this, and they're standing there talking about how great each other looks, and he's like, your hair looks pretty, which is total fucking bullshit. It does not. Her hair did not look pretty, and it was like a weird wig. They stuck this weird wig on her head for the last frame of that movie. I mean, how disgusting was that? All the movie, she's got this gorgeous hair. Everyone knows that Babs had beautiful, beautiful hair. And at the end of that movie, they stick that wig hat on her? What is that? It's to remind you, oh yeah, she's ugly. Remember that. She's got a big nose. She's ugly. Right. We're going to stick a potato sack on her and stick that wig on her at the end of this movie. You know, John, Hollywood, yeah. So, where we at, honey? So he's like, did you meet my girlfriend? And of course she hasn't met his girlfriend. They're talking for fucking 10 minutes and not one word has been said about the child that they had together that apparently he has never seen. Mm-hmm. How old's that kid supposed to be about now? Like 8 years old or something? It must have been, because it was like years later. And he has never seen this kid once? Has he been sending child support? I don't understand this. Like, wouldn't she say something like, oh, thanks for the child support, by the way, there, Hubble? But I don't even one thing. They haven't seen each other. They haven't spoken. They don't know anything about each other's life, including the fact that she has his 8-year-old, daughter. It made no sense. The ending ruined any possible chance for me to like that movie. This classic movie, The Way We Were. I have never seen that movie until yesterday. John said it was always one of his favorite films, and we got a private screening of it on Showtime for free. And I walked away from that movie feeling completely repulsed by the human race in general. To think that was such... No one questioned that? How come I have never heard anyone question that movie in that way? How come I have never heard anybody question that movie? That's my question. That is my question. Why has that movie gone unexamined? Mm-hmm. Why? I'll tell you why. Because they're all burning in hell. Everybody who thinks that movie is really good is burning in hell right now. John, I can't believe these flames. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Now, the flames, look at that. Doesn't that look like where our faces are at? Like a totem pole of like a weird frog head and like a crazy looking like tongue coming out of the mouth of the thing. Yeah, it looks really good. Chris, you're not going to believe what this video looks like when you see it. You're going to freak out. You're going to freak. Such a freak show, baby. So do you still think they were twin flames? I'm going to have to revise my opinion on that. Really? Yeah, I don't think they were twin flames. No, I was kind of pulling your leg, but no. In the movie The Way We Were, they were not twin flames. Robert Redford and her. She was forcing a situation, thinking that he was the one for her. Mm-hmm. She was forcing a situation based almost entirely upon his looks. There was a glimmer of admiration for his writing ability. He did have talent that she found to be a turn-on, but the physicality of him, I believe, was more overpowering for her. I could be wrong in my assessment, but I think that if he was a little troll of a guy with that writing talent, I don't think she would have gone after him. No. Now let me ask you a question, Lena. Of course, but I think I see where this is going. If I was an ugly little troll, okay, I would still love you. You know why? Because I loved you when you were Toulouse-Lautrec. I loved you. We had that life together. Mm-hmm. And John was like a little, not a dwarf, but he had an affliction where his legs didn't grow but something else did. Well, he was very well endowed, as Toulouse-Lautrec was very well endowed. But that was not it, John. No, I know, honey. No. But anyway, no, looks mean... truth. When I have loved, looks have never had anything to do with it. I don't think so. I don't know. Now, I have to admit, like, I was, very attracted to Christopher, right? When I married him, sure. And I still do find him very nice looking, very good looking man. And when we first started going together, I thought he was very handsome too, but it didn't really affect my. I much admired his humor and his appreciation of art and his spirit. Very good spirit. A very kind person. That's what I saw, was a very kind person, first and foremost, but also with a lot of talent, and I could admire him and respect his ideals. He taught me a lot about, I don't know, political stuff that I wouldn't otherwise have been made aware of. I learned a lot from being in a relationship with him, and that's important to me, to learn from the people around me and to respect them. And it's also important for them to feel respected by them. And he made me feel that he respected me always. And I haven't gotten that in my life a lot. I've to this day, I when I don't feel respected by somebody, it's very painful for me, and it's very hard for me to get by. Being near that person, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Everything you're saying mirrors exactly how I feel about my relationship with Mother Yoko. Absolutely, that mutual respect. Um, I found it to be very beautiful, aesthetically, a very beautiful, charming, interesting woman. And yes, she respected me. She respected me. Mm-hmm. And I respected her. It was mutual respect. So, and we needed to have those relationships so before we could take off. And that's what we do. We take off from there. Those were our most important relationships that we ever had before this one could take off. Before I could light your fire, honey. Yeah. So very good. This is a really interesting discussion. I just want to talk a little bit more on Robert Redford and Babs Streisand and The Way We Were. So again, that film was an example of somebody trying to make a relationship into a twin flame relationship when it was just never going to work out. And you don't treat somebody the way he treated her. You don't go for sexual gratification elsewhere if you truly, truly love and respect that person that you married. Mm-hmm. There's no room for infidelity. It can't possibly be. I don't think it can be forgiven. But what do you think, John? No. You don't think it can be? No. And that's what happened between Yoko and myself when May Pang had nothing to do with it. Nothing. It was at that party that I went to after the political meltdown with Nixon. And I was drunk out of my skull. And I grabbed the nearest cunt I could find and brought her into the coat room and fucked her. With Mother right there in the room. Well, in the next room. And everybody at the party knew what was happening. And I didn't care. And yes, it was too late. The next day, the damage was done. The demon alcohol made me behave the way I did. Me and her had had a fight, a tiff earlier, and I justified that tiff for my behavior. And nothing was ever the same after that. Right. She could not forgive me. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect her to. Would have been nice, but I didn't feel I deserved it anyway. And that's that story. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell. Oh, friendship survived. Friendships can survive that. But our marriage did not. And yes, we had Sean a couple of years after that happened. Because there was still love. and there was the desire to have a child together. There was the desire to give Julian a sibling. I really wanted him to have that. I didn't want him to be alone in the world as the only offspring of John Lennon. I really wanted him to have that. Someone he could relate to on that level. Because that's a very lonely place to be. It has to be. Just the way your situation, Lena, must feel very lonely sometimes. Because no one can relate to this, what you go through with me. But I can. And there are others out here who 100% can. And even more dramatically, Christopher, the man you married and still live with, he understands. So you are not alone. And no one can take me from you. And no one will take you from me ever. And we are entering the next part of the journey together from this day forward. I love you. I love you too.